everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the 250 again, and I just want to keep you up to date with that because it's a bit confusing with the 125s and the 250. Remember, these particular Suzuki videos on the RMs are all about budget. I spent a lot more on other bikes in the past replacing things, but this time this is really going to test my skills and my ability to be able to deliver a reasonable quality restoration for as little as possible. So stick with me and let's see how we go. Right, so now it's time to spray the black. The frames come out really well. With these very soft pine bits of timber, there's not a lot of damage you can do to the wheel. See if we can save this rim. It looks pretty banged up. So I've got a big old brass hammer here, so I'm not going to damage this too much. But the problem is if I squeeze the two parts together, I could warp one side. So I'm going to try and bang this off. There. This is one strong rim, this. After this paint job, I noticed all these dents. So on this side, it looks fine, it looks okay. But this side is not good at all. And this is the side that's going to be showing. If any of these dimples, there's going to be very little filler on this by the time I'm done. So here is the automatic transmission fluid which they suggest we put into these shocks. I believe it's 641.5 milliliters of this fluid per shock. Well, I took a gamble, and I have to say, that's worked beautifully. I've never done one of these shocks before. Really quite strange compared to the other MX bikes I've done. They say you should leave it overnight to drain out. Thank goodness this front is much easier to strip. It's taken This room has got cracks in it, so this is literally just a spare room. I think we've won. Okay, this is the 125 spoke and this is the 250 spoke for the long side, and they are the same. So I can fix you. Take all these nipples, grubby forks. Can you imagine trying to clean each one? Yeah. I think I'm just going to load these into the front, see how they go. And you might ask, why am I going to the trouble to clean these and fix these? Well, for a start, if you're on a budget like I am, and there's nothing wrong with these, provided the threads and the nipples can still grip, you're looking at a replacement of these, if you can find them, for about £170 before VAT. So £200 for 36 spokes. That's if they fit. I'm not willing to do that on this particular project, so I'd rather do this and see which ones are damaged and then take off spares that I've got on another bike. Now I know that the 125's spokes are exactly the same size as the 250, so result, it's surprising because the hub is different size. So I'll need to check and see why, but my rear is saved as a result of being able to do it this way. So yeah, pleased with that. Last, I've got the hubs away from the rims, which was an absolute nightmare. So now I'm going to etch, I'm going to put this, what's left of this priming etch on. So I managed to clean these up, which looks really nice. So yeah, let's get going. The way the silica blaster really knocks back aluminium and pits it. This is not the finish. The finish is a streaked finish, a little bit like that. Although that's not created post, that is actually during the manufacturing process. They put this brushed finish in, I'm pretty sure, when they extrude it. So I'm going to try and emulate that extrusion. I want to round this off. This is not how you look at it. Okay, just want to try and square up these pinches here. I'm not going to mess with that. I think this is going to be fine. Let's see if we can get this cleaned up. That has come out as good as I can expect. That'll be just nice. This is on the rear. This was literally this was the worst wheel. So I managed to claw it back. See, there's still a kink in there, which I'm going to still try and take out. But really not bad. I'm pleased with that. That's about as good as I'm going to get this wheel. These bearings I'm going to have to replace because that is just spinning on the shaft. As hard as I've tried to keep the budget really low, it's unrealistic to put together a bike like this when I've gone to the trouble I have if I don't replace some of the bearings when they're necessary. Now, when I first stripped this bike, the swing arm was good, seemed to be solid. The reason was because all the roller bearings were jammed, so that's why it felt more solid than it was. But now you can see that movement in there. It's just worn beyond function. Would be silly, because what happens is when you apply pressure, when you apply torque to the chain, it just gets worse and the bike floats. So it's not even an issue. So that's about 70 pounds worth of bearings, but well worthwhile. So we keep adding to that budget, but believe me, I'm doing everything I can. Use the hammer to tap down the high walls, and it somehow agitates the dent. This is a very different system to any of the other shocks that I've worked on. And you've got a new O-ring. So I don't know if I'm doing this right, but you can't pour oil in there. Plus you need oil in this entire reservoir line in order to create pressure on the air reservoir. So there you go. I've done easier ones than this. I've extracted all the air out of the line. I've put in as much oil as I can before it spills out, so that's pretty much when it last bubbles out there, that's it. So I'm assuming that's the way to do it. I'm going to fit it together now, and we'll have to just check it. I think it's just quite bizarre. There's no air in it. Okay. I'll just blow that up. See, it's expanded now. We've got I'm going to turn this down. That's much smoother now. When I measured it, you count the threads, okay? So on mine I had 4 from the edge. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's about right. That's the position that they're all in. I'm not going to fasten anything down until I've replaced these. But yeah, that's how it goes. Starting to come together. I'm attempt to make this clip for the this cable, and it sort of sits up here somewhere. So. And I'm using a bicycle spoke, which is high quality steel, so that should work fine. Got it. Alright, that's the way it goes. So, I just get the air filters in. I just like to get everything consolidated so that I'm not overwhelmed with screws and bolts and things. Alright. I'm not putting oil on it yet. Later. Okay, once it's sprayed, as you saw before, it's really badly dented. I've done very little filling with a high heat epoxy, so hopefully that can cover some of the dents, but I'm not holding my brace.